All right, let's get to Vislink, VISL. I'm gonna get a drum roll going. There it is.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up, Mickey?
Hey, great to be with you today.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming to hang out. Welcome to the Power Hour. How are things in your world today?
It's going great. It's going great. I mean, obviously, what you were just talking about, the market's had some troubles, but we keep focused on what we're doing here, and we're pretty excited about what we're doing. So
you're lucky. With our business being the stock market, we can't focus on our focus. It's like we're like squirrels running around trying to figure it out all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So Mickey, we've got a big crowd that's tuned in to hear from you today. But for anybody who isn't familiar, can you just give us an overview of the business? Talk about some of the background, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. Vislink is a leader in collection, delivery, and management of high quality live video and associated data at the heart of the action, and we take it to the screen. So we work with broadcasters, content creators, content rights owners, military, government, industrial companies, first responders. As an example, just about every major event you can think about, whether it's the Olympics, the World Cup, Wimbledon, US Open, they all use our technology. And teams in the NFL, the NBA, we have cameras in every NHL goal to officiate, to help officiating. NCAA on the MilGov side, every major first responder in the U.S. I shouldn't say every, but pretty close to every uses our technology. Whether it's the LAPD, California Highway Patrol, all the way to Mass State Police, where our technology helped find the Boston bomber. But entertainment, The Price is Right, come on down, is our technology is used for. I don't know if you remember a couple years of Academy Awards, that intimate scene with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, that was all done with our technology. So, we make immersive, competitive video consumable and actionable is basically what we do.
Awesome. And what's the biggest part of the business? Is it? I mean, you're in everything from entertainment to sports to military. What's the biggest segment?
It's about from a product standpoint, we're about wireless camera business is about 40%, and then the balance is between SATCOM products and our MilGov aerial downlink products. So depending on years, it could be split 50-50 MilGov to sports and entertainment. Obviously, last year, with sports and entertainment down 70%, the amount of games that were actually viewed and showed were down 70%. So we did see a little bit of hit, but we were able to pick up some new content that was coming on board that we'll make some announcements about. But overall, it ended up about a 50-50 split.
Okay. And Hugh, I've been I've been stealing Mickey. You hop in.
Yeah. Hey, Mickey. Thanks for joining us. I have shares of Vislink, and I got to be honest. When you joined Vislink last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yes. January of last year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so before you came on, I actually covered Vislink for a few years, and it was something that I wasn't a huge fan of Vislink. I got to be honest.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was huge issues that I had with it. I mean, it felt like investors were getting dumped on, offerings every other week. And part of the reason that, I was excited reading your background was when I first started covering Vislink, it was primarily a government drone contract. That was I think 78% of the revenue. Yeah, 78% of the revenue. Have we seen a complete business plan transition into this broadcasting? And is that where you want VISL to go? And can you kind of touch on where is the government contracts going to completely be dissolved, and that's just keeping the balance sheet up right now? Or can you kind of touch on where the business plan is going? Because I don't think I've really had a clear message.
That's a great question, Hugh. Our business, what we do in each of those segments is basically the same. It's all around video, and it's all about taking and capturing that video, distributing and managing that video. And so we can do that in those segments and continue to grow those segments. So what we've done since I've been here, we've in 12 months, we'll have introduced more products than they did in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we introduced the IP Link, which is a broadcast product. The DV6100 which is a SATCOM product. We're introducing our new wireless camera platform for receive sites in later this quarter. So what we've done is really excited the new product development, but we can basically take these modules of silicon, whether it's FPGAs or SoCs, and create products very easily for the different applications. And in many cases, we're reusing the same products, but for a different application.
Is that why?
Yeah. So we can. Yeah. So we continue. You know, our view is we view things going to what we call the connected edge, and it's basically the idea behind the fact that we've got IP everywhere. You know, IP. It's been in the computer world for 20 plus years. Telecom for maybe 5 to 8. It's just getting to other parts and other verticals. So we'll have IP everywhere. We'll have deep fiber. You know, 5 years ago, you didn't have fiber at many police stations. You didn't have fiber at many stadiums. Now you're getting fiber pretty deep, and there's another 39 million miles of fiber that will be deployed around the world in the next couple of years. So, and then you talk about the wireless technologies, whether it's 5G, Wi-Fi 6, COFDM, or mesh. So many wireless technologies to connect devices to devices. So I think that's where we see in every segment we play, and then others, this connected segment where you're connecting machines to machines, IoT, if you will, and then with a layer of AI on top, we're going to be able to do what we do with video and do it much better, more immersive, more cameras. You know, I think we're going to see both in broadcast and content creation as well as in MilGov, you know, a lot more cameras, a lot more immersive shots. I think we'll see someday, you know, Patrick Mahomes, I don't know if Brady will be there around for it, but Patrick Mahomes will have a POV camera in his helmet, and we'll be able to see from his perspective of what he's seeing on the field. So I think there's just a massive amount for us to take these technologies and bring them to the markets that we serve.
So speaking of that, are you guys going to keep, recently you guys have opened up a new LinkedIn page called Vislink News and Entertainment. And you guys still have, there's no posts on it, there's very little followers. You know, is that going to be your new LinkedIn page? And is that where, or is Vislink Technologies and Vislink News and Entertainment still going to be two different things? Because I've been stalking your new LinkedIn a little bit.
No, you know, I just heard about that one today. So we're going to merge those two. We're going to stay with the Vislink.
Okay, so you're going to stay with the technologies and the news and entertainment. Can you kind of touch on where that's going?
Well, yeah, we'll converge that into one from that LinkedIn platform. But yeah, we'll leverage the technology we have and build on those. The beauty that we have, Hugh, is we've got, and I know you've seen the investor deck that we put on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We have 30,000 customers around the globe, 150 partners, over 80 countries that we've done business in. So we can take this around the world, and and we're in like the Bosnian military, the Spanish army. We have in the London Metropolitan Police over 15 helicopters that are equipped with our stuff, over 200 receive sites in handhelds that use our stuff. So we have the ability to take this technology globally, and we'll leverage the existing platforms and channels we have. We have so many relationships and so many contacts. We're just going to leverage that and bring more of our comprehensive portfolio to them.
Definitely. Yeah, go ahead, Luke.
I was just going to hop in. So is the idea basically, hey, you have these legacy contracts that have existed for a while. Now you have a new product pipeline, and let's bring that product pipeline into those contracts.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one piece of it. The second piece, as you know, we did a $50 million raise that is focused 100% on growth. And so we're going to bring new acquisitions to the table that either augment our technology, our people, our channels, but also, there'll be other opportunities for us to return shareholder value through companies that, had a difficult time through COVID because they didn't have access to capital. So we're pretty excited about what we're seeing there. And so through both acquisition and inorganic growth through new product development, we think we've got a really bright future.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I actually wanted to touch on that. Mickey, as an investor and someone who, is pretty familiar with the VISL name, and I touched on it earlier, one of the biggest things for me was that this is expensive, and you are an expensive industry. And I know you just did a $50 million raise, but $50 million in your industry goes like that. As an investor, how far is that cash going to get you? And even more so, taking a step further, your pipeline to profitability. How long do you guys have a timeline, or can I, at a certain point as an investor, I'm done with the offerings?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. What we did, like I said, this offering was not about funding current operations.
Yeah.
We size our operations based on which, for the history of the company was 2019 was a low point for the history of the company.
Yeah.
And we sized operations below that. So our goal is, even in worst case, we'll be cash flow neutral.
Yeah.
And take this for growth. And
Yeah.
so, that's where our focus is. And, since I got here, when I got here, our goal wasn't to be a small company. Our goal is to build a big company that makes a difference in people's lives. I'm
really happy that you touched on that, because your background, Mickey, is really interesting. I'm taking it right from your LinkedIn page. You've taken more than one company. You've taken it, built it up, and then it's been acquired. Is that the goal here with VISL, or is it here for the long term to be a big player? Yeah, my goal here, and I told this to the team the first day I started, is to build the company we've all wanted to work for, and build a great company. I've done the build and sell at this point in my life. I want to build something that the younger leaders in our organization could take on to the next level. But I think, we've got a long runway here. We're in the early innings. We think we've got a great opportunity. That's why, we've brought in, really strong people who have been part of much larger organizations. Mike Bond, who I've had on as my CFO pretty much since I started. He joined in April, but he was in before, kind of helping things out. He used to run M&A for Avaya and Lucent, so he's done over 50 billion of transactions, 30 billion conservatively, but probably close to 50. He's also done workouts like we've done, over the last year with Vislink. Joe Carson, who we just brought in as head of supply chain. Joe ran Lucent supply chain. He ran Micron supply chain, which is a $30 billion company, and also at Juniper, which is a $4 billion company. So we brought in the talent to be able to take this company to the next level. So we're really, really excited now that we've got our operations in place and new capital to go out and bring new technologies, new products, and new channels onto our platform. We're very excited about it. Yeah, that's awesome. And you talked about the investor deck, and you talked about the 30,000 partners and customers, but the revenue, at least since before you've come in, it's kind of been stagnant, and we haven't seen. You called VISL the leader or a leader inside this space, but the revenue has been stagnant. Are these contracts going to start to see follow-on contracts? Are we going, for instance, you talked about, I think last Wednesday, you said that VISL had 18 cameras at the Super Bowl. If the Philadelphia Eagles go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to be there. Am I going to see, 50 VISL cameras? And more importantly, as an investor, when's the revenue going to start to see that? Right. That's a great question. So if you look at where Vislink was, in 2018, they did $40 million. Yeah. 2019, they did 28. That wasn't because the market depressed. The market was there. They just couldn't deliver. They didn't have the capital to deliver. Mm-hmm. When I showed up, we owed vendors $10 million. So these vendors weren't shipping product. So we had to work with all our vendors to work out arrangements to get them to believe in our story, which they all have, and we've totally paid them down. We have no debt. That's awesome. So they couldn't deliver. So that 40 to 28 was really, the opportunities were there, some orders were there, but they couldn't execute on them, so they lost orders. Last year we'll have our results out for last year. Obviously with COVID, a challenging year, but we put in place now the infrastructure to take advantage of the growth in the areas, plus the secular growth trends that I talked about, that we think will transform not only sports entertainment, military and government, but also campuses and other places. So we think because really what we do is take and distribute video. And I think video is going to become more important in every aspect of our lives. And the ability to take that video and either consume it as incredible and immersive content,
or take action on it. Today in every police department, they're getting multiple feeds from videos, but it's not being pulled together in one place and have an AI look at it to say, hey, we might send an officer over to Main Street because there's a potential issue there. There's an ability to take both the video as well as all the accompanying data, acoustic sounds, gunshot sounds, things like that, pulling in all that data into one source that then can be analyzed with actions taken more proactively at a lower cost of operation for our first responders. So that's the kind of thing that we see happening in every major market. Where IT used to be just a group doing computers over here. Now IT is part of every operation and the fundamental part of every operation that exists in every vertical market.
That's awesome.
Yep. And something that you touched on is you touched on some of the historical financials. You touched on COVID and the state that the world's in. But could you get into a little bit about how you guys are positioned to take advantage of the world coming out of COVID, economic slowdown, et cetera?
Yeah. So like I said, we've done a lot of the restructuring around getting the right footprint, both in our focus and our people and how we're organized. We've also brought our real estate footprint down. We brought that down dramatically. I think that you'll see the information there in the deck. And so we have a competitive footprint today. So the growth, where we see the growth coming, is a couple places. One, as we come out of COVID, we have some major tentpole events coming in sports and entertainment. We have the Olympics. Our new quantum receiver will be all over the Olympics in Japan. We have UEFA Cup starting in August. Again, massive opportunity for us. Next year, the World Cup in Qatar, again, a massive opportunity that we'll be a part of. And then we've got another Olympics next year in China, the Winter Olympics. So those are 4 tentpole events in addition to all the other events. And I don't know, you guys are sports fans. I don't know, I watch a lot of sports. It's just not the same without fans in the crowd.
Yeah.
The energy's not there. So, we're looking forward to being a part of that reemergence of sports and entertainment as a big part of our lives, the way we love it.
Yeah, definitely. And, I'm happy that you touched on that, because I think recently, I think it was last weekend, the UFC said that they had 8K cameras. And you guys have touched on, right from your deck, new product development process in place, major innovative product platforms expected to release in 2021. You touched on something coming out before the end of the quarter, which is only, really 4 weeks away.
Yeah.
Are we talking 8K cameras? What can I expect inside the near, 1 to 2 months?
In the near term, in addition to what we've announced in the last couple months, we'll have our quantum platform, which is basically, you see, an all IP platform. It won't be, limited to just broadcast. It'll be an all IP platform that will be able to deliver 4K. Now, 8K is still, we have some 8K in development, but 8K is still such a small part of the marketplace. You need to be doing some development there, but the majority, even the majority of sports these days are not at 4K. They're at 1080p 50. And so, we evolve our product line as the compression technologies changes, as well as the viewing content technologies change. So those are all lined up within our portfolio, as well as 5G comes out, integrating that into our portfolio. So we will take these new technologies and integrate them well ahead of the time that we see broad acceptance of them.
That's awesome. And I think I just have one more question. I had VISL's tweets on, and one of the things that came out about 3 weeks ago was a tweet that was deleted, and it specifically named Starlink. Now, I know that you're not sitting there on your phone, tweeting from VISL, but can you touch on the impact that VISL could have, if any, inside either Starlink or the space sector, if any?
Yeah, I mean, I think Starlink, what's happened in the LEO MEO, so right now, all satellite comms is largely GEO, which is many miles above the Earth than LEO MEO. So with LEO MEO products, it's going to bring a massive amount of capacity around the world. And again, as we talked about the extended edge, that's only going to be one more medium for which the overall extended edge to be able to use. So whether it's satellite, whether it's microwave, whether it's fiber, whether it's 5G, whether it's Wi-Fi 6, whatever it is, we're going to be able to have that as part of our solution, to be able to provide that complete solution to our customers and many times their customers.
Awesome. And I think I just have one more question. So you've touched on acquisitions. You've kind of hinted at it. The last few filings, I have over 7 times inside the last 3 filings has acquisitions come up, which is more than the last 2 years of your previous tenure. You've hinted at it, but we haven't really gotten, if Vislink, I know you're looking, but are you in talks for acquisitions? I think you touched on Ben Carson. I think it specifically says, integrating future acquisitions. Can we see a future acquisition this year inside the next 2 quarters?
Acquisitions, in terms of putting timing on, I can tell you right now, I'm spending a great deal of my time looking at opportunities.
Yeah.
Like I said, that $50 million, it's not being deployed. We're not using it for our existing operations. We're putting that focused on growth, both acquisitions as well as, if we have a new technology they want to bring to market that's not in our current plan. However, right now, 100% of that raise is all about growth and acquisition. So I've been on with many potential targets, as well as bankers who are bringing ideas to us. So
that's awesome.
We're really excited about that, because it will be a transformative event for us. It will be able to take us to really get the kind of platform that we want to have to grow in the future more dramatically.
Awesome.
All right, and I've got a couple questions. I've been reading through the chat. It's been a very active chat, so it's taking some concentration to read through. But just a couple questions out of the chat. I know we touched on it a little bit, but can you talk a little bit about international expansion and go a little bit deeper there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we did have the recent announcement about AshArt News, which is basically has Bloomberg throughout the Middle East. We've got, as I said, we have over 150 partners globally. We replaced our leader in the Middle East about March of last year. He's done a phenomenal job. So we expect to see good growth. We're seeing the funnel there has been, real pleased with where the funnel is out of the Middle East. You'll see some announcements, or hope to see some announcements around that in the future. And then we also brought on some additional sales focus into Asia around the MilGov space, because we haven't had great penetration there beyond the Korean police and the Thai army. We think there's plenty of opportunities there. So we're really excited about growth. Right now, today, over 55% of our sales are outside the U.S. And we have more of our employees are outside the U.S. than inside the U.S. So we're pretty excited about the growth we have here, and then the great potential as well that we have outside of the U.S.
Okay. And then I'm just going to ask one more out of the chat, and we'll let you go. You've hung out for a while with us, Mickey. We appreciate it. But we covered a lot here over these past 25 minutes or so. But if you had to name one thing that you were most excited for, I know it's sort of a tough question, but if you had to name one or maybe 2 things that you're most excited for, what would they be?
I'm excited for the connected edge concept. I mean, people, as this evolves over time, when you look at these secular technology changes that are happening in terms of all types of Wi-Fi and wireless connectivity, coupled with big data and AI, it's going to transform not only the markets that we're in, but every single vertical market in the world. Okay. And we're just happy to be a part of it, because, coming from the telecom background, I've seen what's been done over the last 20 years. 5 years ago, we didn't have a lot of fiber at many of the base stations. Now, not only are they going to have fiber at base stations, but they're going to have compute power at base stations. Many times that compute power will be GPUs, not just CPUs. So you're going to have massive compute at the edge, and that is going to transform our lives like we've never seen. And you add AI and big data on top of that. It's in my view, there's never a better time than today to be in the technology business. And I've been in it for over 30 years. I'm more excited now than I've ever been. And we have a chance here at Vislink to take a great advantage of it.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, Mickey, thank you so much for joining us.
All right,
Thank you, Mickey.
Take care.
All right, take care.